I've always aspired to own a business that would set me and the ones I care about financially free. The problem is balancing YouTube, potentially a job during the summer, schoolwork, and sports, as well as working out every single day. And the biggest problem with all that is to just not get burnt out. So I did some self-reflecting. Back when I was in high school as a junior, I had a schedule for every little thing in my day, and I had a to-do list where it kept me accountable. At that point in my life, I felt the most productive, and I definitely got a lot done, even during the summer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to restructure my schedule now. So without further delay, let's get straight into the video. The day is Monday. Most of today was used to create the new schedule. I wanted to clarify why I wanted to make this new schedule, and that's mainly because I felt like I was really unproductive with my time, and when I did my self-reflection, I had remembered that when I had blocked everything out, I was able to get a lot more done. I was able to lock in and focus on whatever was pressing at the moment. So what I'm looking to achieve with this schedule is mental clarity, and you'll see why in a little bit. So mental clarity, I'm looking to find the drive to get work done again and just basically catch up on my life. I've spent the last probably 4 or 5 weeks working on schoolwork and not anything productive that puts me toward my goals. So I wanted to allow myself to have time for that. So what are the changes that I'm making? The wake up times are kind of consistent from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday, because I have morning classes. So that isn't gonna change compared to implementing this schedule. But I want to plan out my morning routine just so I have it somewhere I can visibly see it. My class schedule, dedicated time to do homework and YouTube and my business, which if you guys saw my last video, you're aware that I am basically a video editor for hire and willing to adapt to whatever you may want with your video editing. So if you're interested, hit me up with the email in the description. Enough with the plugs. Continuing on, my meal times. After spring break, I started a cut. So scheduling my meal times and making sure that I'm spreading out my calories consistently throughout the day helps reduce bloating. And then back when I said that I wanted to achieve mental clarity, I'm adding meditation back into my routine, and I'm reading at least 10 pages every day. So those are the changes that I'm making now. I know this clip is kind of long. This video is probably going to be a long one, but I hope you guys enjoy, and this is a project like no other. Let's get into it. So it's 10 o'clock right now, and I have scheduled an hour of no devices, and basically I'm going to use this time to read and meditate, which should allow me to accelerate my personal growth. Also, try to ignore the people above me. They're really loud, especially around this time. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna read the 48 Laws of Power. It's the book that I have on me. It's not the first book I'm reading on personal development, but it's the one I'm reading. So let's tackle it. Like I had said before, today was mainly used for creating the schedule, and on top of wanting to start meditating, I wanted to include some of the benefits, and those are that it boosts your mental awareness, it improves your mental health, improves cognitive function, and it reduces stress. On top of meditating, I wanted to add reading. The book I'm currently reading is called The 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, it's kind of a cliche book to read, but it's one of the books that I had on hand that was about self-improvement that I haven't already read. So I just grabbed it when I was coming back from spring break, and now I'm reading it. The importance of reading. It helps boost the rate at which you can progress in life, which is why I read self-improvement books. It also reduces stress, so helping balance out the work-life balance. It increases your knowledge, which if you know me, then that's very important to me. And then some studies have even shown that it can increase your lifespan, which who doesn't want to live longer? And with that all being said, the day was, again, pretty unproductive. I know this is the third time I'm saying it, but today was mainly used specifically for creating the schedule and recording a few of the different scenes, like the intro scene, and then I did my classes. That was about it. From here on out, I decided to implement a to-do list, which is another thing that I had realized helped me so much when I was originally following a schedule. What the idea is that it makes my tasks visible, and because it's on my phone, whenever I go to pick up my phone to doom scroll or I get a notification, I can see those tasks in my phone, which will automatically put that task into my, speaking of notification, it automatically puts that task into my head, and then I'm more likely to go do it. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. It's 8 in the morning. I get up at 8 in the morning on Tuesday and Thursday, and I get up at 7 in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, Friday due to my class times. So yeah, it's time to get ready for the day and then go get some breakfast before my class. It was really difficult to get up this morning, most likely due to the fact that I had just come back from spring break and my sleep schedule was completely fried. Luckily though, my first class was canceled, which made it a little bit more difficult to get up in the morning because I got up knowing that my class was canceled and that I could have slept in later, but I chose not to. My morning routine is nothing fancy. I brush my teeth before I shower, I weigh myself before I shower, and then I shower, and while I'm in the shower, I do a facial cleaning routine, and then I moisturize my body after the shower. I just got out of the shower, feeling pretty good. It's time to go get some breakfast. It's gonna be really interesting because my first class today is not actually having a class today. So it's just, I have that entire block open. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with it. I have a few ideas, so stay tuned. I took this extra hour and a half that I had gained from not having a class to plan out my voiceovers for the video that you're currently watching. Now, I like to have unscripted videos, and I put quotations around that because they're technically scripted, but they're bullet points. My mind likes to scramble things a lot, so having a list of things to cover and in order that I want to cover them helps me stay on track and on topic for much longer and cover everything that I want to say before moving on to the next topic, which is why I'm planning out the voiceovers. After planning out the voiceovers, I moved on to making some progress on kind of setting up my video editing freelancing business, which I had mentioned earlier. I decided to go down this route because I feel if I have more video in my hands and I get accustomed to different kinds of edits, it would make these videos much more enjoyable, much more higher quality to watch, and I would get to learn video editing along the way while getting paid. So it seemed like a win-win-win to me. So that's why I went down this route. I've been bowling ever since I was old enough to throw a ball down the lane, at least according to my dad. And ever since, it's just stuck with me. I was doing leagues ever since I was little, and then it developed my competitive spirit, and then here we are bowling in college. I bowl because it's my sport, it's what I'm passionate about. It allows me to be competitive and network in a way, especially with like-minded people, in the sense of engineering-minded people, because most of the people that do bowl have that kind of mentality toward life. Just finished up bowling. It's a pretty good day. Figured some things out. I wasn't loading up on the ball entirely throughout my approach, so I was able to increase my rev rate a little bit, and that's about it. Overall, it was a good practice day, and now I get to head back to the dorm to get ready to go hit legs. Everybody's favorite. I'll see you guys after the workout. And that workout was brutal. Usually after I come back from like a week-long break, it takes time for my muscles to recuperate and to get back to where I was before I took a break. And I took a break during the entire week of spring break. With that being said, it was really nice outside. And I mean like 73, 74 in Indiana. So what I decided to do was I decided to flip my meditation and reading times so I could enjoy the nice weather, do it outside, on my campus grounds, which you are seeing now. And yeah, I just wanted to enjoy nature. I ended up bringing a friend with me to do meditation. Some of the benefits of enjoying nature is, again, it reduces stress. Getting the fresh air in your system can also reduce depression, and also you can get vitamin D from the sun. So far, I feel like I am way more productive, and that's probably due to the fact that during spring break I just kind of relaxed, chilled with some of my friends, and basically did nothing. And now I'm jumping straight in, hit the ground running on a business, my schoolwork, and the things that I'm passionate about. So I finished reading, I meditated, and I read enough that would have covered for yesterday night, and I meditated for 10 minutes. Obviously, you're not gonna see all that, but it got really windy, so now I have to go back to the room, but I have the rest of the day to myself. So, as you can see, really windy. So, I will see you guys tomorrow.
Good morning, guys. It is 7 o'clock. Crap. Wednesday. So it's a little bit easier to get up this morning. I think I'm slowly starting to get used to the sleep schedule. I gotta get in the shower and stuff so I can go get breakfast though. So I'm gonna keep it quick. I'll see you guys after my class.
As I just mentioned, getting up every morning is getting a little bit easier. This is because, again, I'm getting used to my new sleep schedule. After my class, I decided to record last week's video and some voiceovers for this video. Though it's hard to get footage of recording video if I'm using my camera to record the video, so I don't have any footage of me getting any voiceovers or recording last week's video. After recording the video and voiceovers, I decided to do some of the video editing for this project. Start to lay it out and piece things together and visualize how I want this project to go.
So I just finished the workout and dinner. It is 9 o'clock. It's a little late. I do my workouts later on Wednesdays because I don't go alone. I go with my roommate and potentially 2 other guys. Normally it's just 3 people, but sometimes it is 4. But my roommate, he's got classes until 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. So I don't go to the gym until about 5:30, and it just slows me down a little bit. I mean, I just finished dinner, got a little bit of work done, in between classes, as you saw in the earlier clips, and all that's left to do now is to finish up the day by reading and meditating, and that'll be day 3 in the books. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning.
The meditation is slowly opening up my mind and allowing me to realize that everything I do is helping me make progress towards my goals, which to me is very important because ever since just about when college started, I started to relapse to where I was before I went on my self-improvement journey. Reading, however, is getting a little bit difficult due to the lack of discipline. So the only amount of reading that I've done was when I did 75 hard back when I was a junior in high school. And needless to say, I lack the discipline to actually stick through reading. And it might help if I had a different book, something I could enjoy a little bit more, something that I could invest in a little bit more, because the 48 Laws of Power doesn't necessarily apply everything into my life. Some of it does, yes, it's all good information to know, but I'm not going to use every single law because it just does not apply to my life.
Good morning, guys. It is 8:10. I laid in bed for like 5 minutes and then just now got up. So yeah, it's a little rough to get up this morning. Hopefully we can have a productive day. I'm gonna get ready for the day, go get some breakfast, and I will see you guys after my class.
This is a turning point in my journey. The stress was starting to build up from having to prepare for a math exam and having to produce 2 separate videos at the same time while maintaining bowling, working out, and of course, social time. The good news is that today I had felt a lot better after I had gotten out of the shower and gotten around. I was able to get my work done. I was able to have a good practice session later in the day. After my 12:30 class, I worked on the same video project I was working on earlier while I waited for the bowling center to open up. This usually is about 30 minutes after I am done eating because I have a late lunch on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Bowling went great. I'm getting more adept at controlling my release and being able to change it and be more versatile and repeat the same shot. Overall, today was a lot better than yesterday. I was able to get more editing done and at a lot faster pace as well. Despite the really rough morning that I had today, it was a pretty good day. I had more energy today, I had a better workout, and I got a lot more work done than I did yesterday, which says a lot because the day before I had gotten up pretty easily and things just didn't go as planned, I suppose. But I got a lot more done today, so I plan to carry that momentum on to Friday and finish off this week strong.
Good morning, guys. It is 7 o'clock Friday morning. It's a little easy to get up this morning. I think I'm still just getting used to the wake up schedule. And yeah, so I'm gonna get ready for the day and go get some breakfast. So I'll talk to you all later.
Do you guys remember that math exam that I had told you that I had to prepare for? This is where the stress really started to build up. After my class, I did some of my math homework. I like to stay on top of my classwork by focusing on my homework opposed to personal projects like video editing and recording. And because of this, the math homework, and because of the pre-exam that I had to take and all the prerequisite studying, I ended up working myself to sleep. Unfortunately, that means I didn't get to read, I didn't get to meditate, and I don't have footage of it. Hopefully we can get a lot more done Saturday.
Good afternoon, guys. It is Saturday. It is 12 p.m. Obviously, I'm already up and around. I had a youth bowling league that I had to attend and basically just help the youth. So it's just something I like to do. The owner of the bowling alley is kind enough to pay me for it, so I obviously don't do it just for the money, but because I like to help the youth with bowling, as bowling is what I'm passionate about. So I probably won't have much footage from today. As I mentioned in the voiceover for the clip from yesterday, I worked myself to sleep basically. So I still have a lot of work to do. I have a lot less math to do, but still quite a bit. And then I have a lot of video editing to do. And if I really want to get that video published Monday, I got to get to work on it and lock in. So probably not going to record much today. Hopefully I can get to a point where I'm kind of in a safe zone and I can relax a little bit, and then I can go back to reading and meditating. But until then, I'll probably just be focusing on work and getting this video out and not falling behind in my classes. So I may or may not see you guys later today. Kind of depends on how it goes. If not, then I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
It is now the weekend. I have the most amount of time this entire week available to me to get my stuff done. And unfortunately, today was very similar to Friday. I finished up my math work and I focused on editing the video that I released last week. One of the things that I really needed to take into account was that I've only done this for 1 week so far. Most of the progress doesn't start to show out until after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks. So if you guys decide to go ahead and do something like this, then keep in mind that it's a long game, not something that you get after doing something for 1 day. So it's a long game, play the long game. And this ties into how I was feeling Saturday. I felt very unmotivated to work and it made my editing go really slow.
So it is now Sunday. It's 11 in the morning and I got ready for my day just now. I've been up since 9:30 excuse me. I've just been working on the video, and I decided to just now take a break, get ready, hop in the shower and do all that stuff before I go for lunch. So I'm gonna go get some food, and then I'm gonna come back, get some video editing done, and then before the day closes out, I'm going to do a recap on how I felt this entire week. And I understand that, especially when it comes to like meditation, you don't start to see results until about 2 weeks in. So keep that in mind when I do that, because I've only done this for a week, not a month or 2 weeks or any of that sort. So I'll see you guys later today.
It is now the last day of this week. Another day spent entirely on video editing. However, I was able to get that video done. Because of that, I decided to allow myself the rest of the day to do whatever I wanted. The reason being was because the prior several days, I've been feeling like I was in a rut, in the mud, and just unmotivated to work. I needed some time for myself, so I gave myself just that. It was only about an hour or so, but I gave myself the rest of my working time to myself.
So it is currently 7:20 at night, Sunday. I was kind of feeling a little motivated to just do a little bit of a talking session, because I was writing the script for the voice overlays for this video after finishing up my editing for the day. I got the video done, so I guess what I wanted to say was, yesterday all the excess stress, and I think it was more the math and opposed to the video editing, but it really took a toll on me. So I decided to give myself the rest of the day to rest. I'm still gonna meditate, I'm still gonna read, I'm still going to do a recap for how this week has went, but I have a few ideas for like video projects for the future, and I think I want to tie some of that stuff back to this and like do a checkup after a month, like toward the end of the school year, and see how things are going then with the meditation, the reading, that kind of thing. So stay tuned for that, and let's close off the day on a positive note. So I'm gonna do my meditation and reading now.
So it's the final time that I'll be meditating for the video, meditating and reading. And guess it's time to go over how I felt this entire week, how it affected my week, and how I plan to move forward with it. I felt really great the first 3 days. Granted, I had just come back from spring break, so I was probably, just getting reacclimated to school. And then as the week came to a close, it started to get worse. I started to feel the pressure of the schoolwork. I started to feel the pressure of getting video editing done and video recording done, on top of changing a few things with my schedule, and it all just started to add up. However, I made it through, and we ended off on a good note. I got my work done, I got the video edited, I got the thumbnails made, all of that stuff, got it all done, and still managed to fit meditating and reading into my schedule. So what are my future plans with this schedule? My future plans are to continue with the schedule, which at the time of recording this, because this is the Wednesday after I had gone through this recording phase, I am still going pretty strong, I would say. Still reading, still meditating, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. The week's going pretty good, so I plan to continue reading, meditating, and keeping up with the schedule, at least for the rest of the semester. Now, would I recommend doing a complete schedule overhaul to anyone? The answer is it really depends. There's multiple types of schedules. There's really strict scheduling and there's really loose scheduling, and you have to understand what kind of schedule will work best for you, because if you don't and then you just cram your day full of things to do, you won't ever get anything done because you're too overwhelmed. As for me, I like a little bit of both. As you could see with the week of me changing my schedule, it's a little bit on the stricter side, but it's pretty vague. I stick to the times pretty consistently, but it's open to do a lot of things, and then those things are dictated by the to-do list on my phone. So yes, I would recommend structuring a schedule around your goals if that's ultimately what you want to do, but I think you should do your research first and figure out what works best for you, and then of course experiment. Don't go into it expecting all these great things within just 1 week. As you saw with my experience just now, it takes much longer than 1 week. Just as most things do in life, that takes time to build. The idea of this schedule, my schedule, if you guys decide to follow something similar, was to help reestablish the discipline that I had for getting the work done and the self-respect to develop myself, to read, to meditate, to go out and enjoy myself and find my purpose. That was the ultimate reason why I changed my schedule. And with that all being said, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I put a lot of effort into this video and it would help the channel grow. If you want more content, then stick around for next week's upload because it's going to be pretty similar to this one. I'll see you all in the next video.